Hey, if you haven't already, make sure that you like, comment, share, follow our podcast. And make sure that you also get our free newsletter. Sign up over at getkim.com. Once again, that's getkim.com. All right, let's get this tech party started already with the 5 top things you need to know. It's happening in the techverse right now as we speak. And I mentioned it. It's the WWDC. That's the Worldwide Developers Conference. And I watched it. It was almost an hour and a half.
Ooh.
Really like crazy stuff. So let me just walk you through it. They opened up and they were all excited about the brand new Vision iOS 2.0. And I'm like, can we just move past this? So like now you can put like your 2 fingers together to get to the control panel. And everybody in the crowd went, yeah, wow, that's awesome. Oh my gosh.
There is going to be tens of people out there dying to download that update.
Okay, then they went to iOS 18.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it was like, you can now move apps around on your home screen. Yes.
I saw this update that you can have now spaces between your apps. You don't have to fill up the full page. You can have empty spaces.
So like this way, if you have a photo or something of your dog they showed, so that this way you can have all the apps, it doesn't cover up the face of the dog. You can now have the apps in different color schemes.
Stop
it. I know.
How fast was Apple's stock rising as this information was coming out?
Okay. Messages, I do think that this is actually kind of cool. Is that, tap backs, we love that. You can just put a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever it may be. Now you can actually have emojis, which I think that would be pretty awesome.
Also with text messaging, aren't you going to be able to have read receipts from Android phones and better quality photos and videos sent to and from Android phones? So that's actually cool.
Yeah, we'll see how that works. They're not going to. They're not going to make it great.
No,
because they want you to have a better Apple-to-Apple experience. Messages now works via satellite on iPhone 14s or later, so that's pretty cool. Now with photos, you can now have additional filters to drill down to the photos that you want, and also you can filter out screenshots. Love those. Love that.
Now, the thing with the photos, isn't that all AI based?
Yes.
And isn't the AI going to be an opt-in option for all people that upgrade to the new iOS? As in opt-in, I mean they will automatically opt you in. And then if you don't want it, you're going to have to manually opt yourself out.
Yes, that would be the case too. Your AirPods, that now let's say you call me and I'm like, I don't want to talk to you then.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of me like trying to figure out like how to not take the phone call, I can just go, nope. And then we'll send that call directly to voicemail.
That's actually kind of cool.
It is. And so if I wanted to talk to you that one time, I can say yes.
Okay.
I can say yes.
Appreciate it.
TV OS got a new operating system as well, update. If you mute or you jump back in the something that you're watching, is that now you can see closed captioning underneath. If you're watching a show that has been produced by Apple and you're like, what was that show that Brad Pitt was in 1982? And then you could just scroll down. It will show you everything that he's been in before. So if you're seeing an actor and you're like, what is that about? Also the sound. And so if it's a high-powered chase and you're having trouble hearing the dialogue, is that now the dialogue will automatically increase so that this way you can actually hear them and not just the screeching tires.
That's a cool feature.
I thought that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
If you have an Apple Watch, there's now a pause button so you don't lose your streak in your ring. So like, let's say you get hurt. So you can like pause your activities. You can say like Tuesdays and Thursdays are no exercise day. And that's just the way that I want to have my body work. There's a check-in feature that lets you let people know when you have arrived from your wrist. So that's actually been updated a little bit more. There's a new Vitals app that will track all your health metrics. Think about this. It will track everything. And so not just, how many steps you get, but also your heart rate variability, how much sleep you're getting, your oxygen rate, whatever it may be. And so if things are different, and then the Vitals app's going to say, hey, listen, we think that something may be going on. You need to go to a doctor. Okay.
Can I ask you a question? Do you let Apple track your health on your Apple Watch that you wear?
The one that I'm wearing right now?
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
We both own Apple Watches.
I know. I was getting like too obsessive with it.
Didn't you only wear it for like 6 or 7 days?
No, it was almost 2 weeks.
Oh, I apologize. Stand corrected.
Okay, the iPad, guess what? I know. Finally, at Apple, we've realized that if you're on an iPad, you need a calculator app. Yes, we now have a calculator app.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I bet you if you went on the street and you asked, I don't know, 100 iPad users, they would all just assume that it already had a calculator app.
Yes, they would.
And it only
why
took
would it not?
18 operating systems for them to go, yeah, let's go ahead and throw that in there.
Okay, so if you have a Mac and you have an iPhone or an iPad, is that now it has like mirroring built in. And so if you want to see what's happening on your phone, but your phone is someplace else, is that now on your Mac, you can say, oh, show me what's going on with my phone.
That's neat.
Okay, so I guess that's kind of handy. Notifications from the phone now appear on the Mac, and then you can go to your virtual iPhone. So if it's something that you wanted on your phone, instead of like you picking up your phone and like trying to get that, is that now you can just go on your Mac, go to your phone, and then pick it off, whatever it may be.
A lot of spouses are going to use this to spy on each other. Guarantee it.
Yeah. 100%. Oh, guess what?
What?
On your Mac, you now have a brand new passwords app.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yes.
It's not just going to be built into the settings anymore. It's going to be total independent app.
And then, of course, in true Apple fashion, is that they always wait for the big thing at the end. And so they have AI. So what do you think AI stands for?
Well, it's artificial intelligence, of course.
Silly, not anymore.
No?
Apple Intelligence.
Apple Intelligence powered by ChatGPT because Apple isn't ready to have their own intelligence, so they're licensing it from another company?
That one, yes.
Yeah, okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
That'd be it. So now if, let's say it's your birthday.
Okay.
And I want to send you a birthday text. And so now what I can do is take a picture of you and then animate it and then put balloons all around it and then send you a picture of you having a birthday party and saying happy birthday.
That's cool. That's fun.
I thought it was kind of fun. You can also talk to Siri in a much better way.
Here it goes.
I'm not going to say her name again. And she also has a brand new look. So instead of it just coming up with that like little bubble, is that the whole outside of your phone is now going to like illuminate whenever she's around. Okay. And so when you need to talk to her. And they really showed some good examples. So like I could say, show me all of the text links for news stories that Andrew sent me last week, but I'm really looking for the one that he was talking about, the Cybertruck or something like that. And then it will try to find that. I can say, show me all the photos of Ian that we took in New York 5 years ago when he was wearing the blue jacket.
Oh, wow.
And so it will really do that. And then the big deal about the Apple Intelligence is that it's all happening on your phone. And so all the algorithms and the general language learning models, it's all on your phone. It's not going to the cloud because it's built in using the Apple chips. Now, it will have to go out to the cloud. And so that's when they showed you an animated apple. So you know how like the Apple logo has the core at the top? Mm-hmm. Well, now the Apple logo, that core or that leaf at the top rather, turns into a lock. And to signify that Apple cares about your privacy. Okay. That they have something called the private cloud compute.
Ooh.
Private cloud compute. It runs on servers specially created for the purpose, powered by Apple silicon, meaning that your data is not going to be stored or shared with Apple. That's what they say.
So does that mean if they get hacked, they're just passing the buck to some other company?
That's not going to happen.
Oh, okay. So we don't even worry. Okay, I won't even think about that. Okay.
This is Apple.
Gotcha.
Okay. Remember, and then also if you're reading stuff on the web that there's going to have like, too long didn't read, a little summary at the top. You're watching a video on the web, you can hit a button and then it goes full screen. That's, of course, if you're using Safari. The Mail app will now show summaries and preview. You get notifications. You can create emojis using your keyboard. The Notes app has this magic wand, the feature that will clean things up, helps with searches, and they are integrating ChatGPT into Siri with system-wide writing tools. So think about that. Man, if you were Grammarly, you're in trouble. I mean, it's bad. It's really bad. You need to go find something new to do like right now. So that's pretty much everything that they announced. Now, this Apple Intelligence, it'll work on the iPhone 15 Pro or later, plus any Mac or iPad running on an M series chipset. So what that means is that if you're sitting there like me and you have an older iMac running on an Intel chip,
No.
not gonna work.
So all this stuff that you just said, all this fancy doodle stuff, when it gets installed in 2 or 3 days, none of it will affect me because I have a 14.
Correctamundo.
All right.
Correctamundo. So, but I'm going to have it because,
Yes.
I shall have it. I shall have it all. But it really is interesting to me how much production work they put into their announcement. I mean, they have to. It's $1 trillion company, right? But like the women, they had a certain look, and meaning like a blouse with pants that are bell bottoms, and the guys had like fitted shirts, with belts, and everybody looks great. But it was really, I always find it fascinating. If you haven't watched one of these in a long time, you just fire it up just for a second, and I just want you to pay attention to the cadence of the people speaking. And that how they phrase their words, that so it's almost like they are going slower, so that this way you're listening, I think, more closely. Is that it? Is that why?
Or it just feels like it has a bigger impact.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying at the beginning of the podcast. Maybe we should both start talking like this, so that our audiences realize that the information that we're passing along will have a long-lasting impact on whatever the day brings.
This sounds like an awful idea.
It does sound like an awful idea, doesn't it? All right. I had more things that I want to talk about, but we don't have time.
Okay.
So we'll have to do that on Wednesday's podcast, as far as like the other 5 things that you need to know that's happening about tech. And I know like many of you are sitting there saying like, we've had these features for years, like, the whole photo recall. I mean, we've had that on Google Photos. Yeah, I know you have.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that, Apple people, we're just sitting here saying like, okay, we just got all this great stuff. And if you don't have an Apple gadget or phone, maybe these are some reasons that you might want to have one, especially because that whole private cloud thing. I mean, they really have to make sure that they don't blow it, Apple. I mean, because if they get hacked, I mean, you joked about it, Andrew. They get hacked, they are screwed.
Oh, yeah, they are setting themselves up for disaster. When I read about separating the passwords from the settings to an independent app, I'm like, oh, so you're going to put all of my passwords on an island instead of integrated into my phone. That sounds horrible.
Well, I have a feeling they're going to be able to really make sure that they don't get hacked, or at least keep it super quiet.
Yeah, well, they have the power to do that. That's for sure.